Republican lawmakers sent letter to Governor Wes Moore and the Chief Justice of the Maryland Supreme Court, calling on them to take a stronger stance. These lawmakers are pointing to laws they say protect violent criminals who are living here illegally. With his hands cuffed, surrounded by an entourage of officers, it's a visual of Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez, the accused killer of Rachel Morin, and a visual of a case now prompting a call to action.
We hope that Rachel's death can be honored by actual action taken in this state.
And while Governor Moore acknowledges there's an immigration issue,
Harford County in our state, where this brutal murder happened, is 1,800 miles away from the border. And so when people think this is only impacting a few states, this is impacting every single one of us.
These documents from state Republican lawmakers detail some of the change they're looking for.
We need to be stronger on this issue.
In this first letter to Chief Justice Matthew Fader with the Maryland Supreme Court, Delegate Kathy Schlega, who signed on to the letter, says,
"We're asking the judges to enact something called a springing order,
making sure individuals get turned over to ICE and not released back into the community." And then in this press release, the Maryland Joint Republican Caucus is asking Governor Moore to, quote, roll back public policies that have made Maryland a sanctuary state.
We understand that the immigration system in this country is broken, but at minimum, we have a responsibility to keep Marylanders safe.
And in this third letter from more than a dozen Republican lawmakers, they're asking for Governor Moore to give clear instructions when it comes to contacting ICE. The letter says while local law enforcement is advised they can't hold non-citizens specifically for an ICE detainer, they want ICE to have at least 4 hours notice before someone with an active detainer is released back into the community.
all hands on deck approach to communities, to public safety.
When it comes to Maryland's, quote, sanctuary policies, Delegate Jesse Pippy, the minority whip, points to several laws, one of which is the Dignity Not Detention Act of 2021, which limits where inmates can be held and when they can be transferred to federal immigration officials, a bill some lawmakers now want to repeal.
This isn't a going after individuals for merely not being here with the proper documentation, someone that's overstayed their visa. This is about individuals that are committing violent acts.
While Governor Moore could issue an executive order, repealing laws would likely need to happen by lawmakers during the General Assembly.
The governor can advocate, can speak with legislative leaders on his side of the aisle.
So I reached out to Governor Wes Moore's office asking for his response. While I wasn't given one, Governor Moore did recently say
There's been a lack of courage that we have seen for a long period of time in Washington that has allowed this to take place, that's allowed our states to then, and the people of our states who we protect, and there's nothing I take more seriously than public safety, but they're allowing people in my state to become victims because of a long-standing inaction.
Pointing the finger to Congress, something not sitting well with state lawmakers.
And I can't look at my constituents in the face and say it's not my problem. This is our problem. We can't control what happens at the southern border, in many cases from Maryland, but we can control what happens within our own state. And that's what we're asking for, is that we all put our heads together.
The Maryland Judiciary says they've received the letter and they're reviewing it, but so far they haven't commented. And again, the lawmakers say they want to work with Governor Moore and lawmakers on the other side of the aisle, and they say it's likely to be an issue that comes up in the next legislative session. In Baltimore, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.